So we were discussing about Logistics Information System or LIS. We had started this topic yesterday. We have seen till types of logistical information system. There are different types, two different types we can say, two major types we can say, internal and external. And in logistics information system, the main role is played by the information which is coming from various participants in the entire supply chain, logistics and supply chain process. And all this information is to be thoroughly analyzed, categorized properly, and after that we can see that how much it is effective in the decision making process. So this part we have seen initially yesterday. Objectives we have seen. Logistic information system, what are the characteristics of the same? It should be characteristics, it's important, it should be available, timely available, accurately available, and it should also be flexible. And flexible in the sense, it should be as per the requirements of the customer. Customer in the sense, the user here we can say, the user's demand. Then there should be an appropriate format. It should be exceptional to deal with exceptional situations. Then types of logistical information system, external and internal. External means the information flow is coming from the people outside the organization, and the main source of information, external information, are the customers. Their feedback, their responses, etc. are collected over here. Then internal means within the organization, from where all the department, which all departments the information will be shared so that the functioning can happen smoothly. Then this also we have seen logistic information functionality. Now there are four different levels of functionality over here: transactions, management control, decision analysis, and strategic planning. Transaction system में क्या होता है कि all the records are maintained here. Transaction means the activity which is being transacted, which is being happening. So the transaction system is initiating and recording all the individual logistical activities, like each and everything will be recorded here, collected and recorded here with respect to order entry. Like examples are given: order entry, assignment, inventory, order selection, shipping, pricing. All such activities are recorded here. One example of one sequence of activities mentioned over here: receiving order from the customer, giving assigning inventory, directing the material handlers to select the order, moving the order, delivering the order, and pricing the invoice for payment. Now each of these different activities will be involving different records over here or different data over here. Receipt will be another data, assigning inventory will be another data, another information. So each and everything should be recorded properly. So throughout we can see that entire process, the order status information should be made available to the customers also. That is what we can see now. When we place the order with any online company, and we can easily get the order, like you might have noticed it, when you track the consignment, you can understand when it was shipped, and after shipping where the consignment has reached, after that where it reached, is it out for delivery, all these things we are getting. So this is happening in the transaction part. Then management control. Here performance measurement and reporting part is coming. Performance measurement we have already seen. This is done in order to provide feedback to the management, to the company, regarding how this entire system is working. The financial aspect is concerned here, whether the customers are satisfied or not, it's concerned over here. Productivity of the employees are measured over here. Quality of the product is also measured over here. Then comes decision analysis. Decision analysis involves taking decisions on various aspects, because we have already seen that logistics activity is not an isolated activity. Logistical activities include various functions involved over here, starting from, like we can say, transportation, warehousing, material handling, packaging, inventory management and control, performance management. Like that, so many activities are there which are all interconnected. So a decision in one area will be definitely affecting the decision on the other area. So decisions should be taken very carefully with respect to vehicle routing and scheduling. Vehicle routing means which direction this particular vehicle will be moving today. Inventory management, what is the amount of inventory left, by when we will be placing order for next inventory, what is the amount of inventory to be placed next, all such decisions. Facility location, or facility can also be the distribution centers or any wholesalers or retailers or agents or anything, or it can even be the warehouses, it can be the plant where it is being manufactured, where the products are being manufactured, it can even be the market, and also this location is also of prime important. Cost benefit analysis. Very simple to understand. Whether we are able to write the benefit out of the cost which we are putting into, whether we are getting the benefits out of the investments which we are putting into that. So decision analysis emphasizes more on effectiveness rather than efficiency. Effectively means trying to find out only those options which are profitable and ignoring or eliminating the unprofitable options. Then strategic planning. Strategic planning focuses on information support. Again, for strategic planning is basically when you are dealing in a what you can say, to develop and refine logistic strategy. This is again part of the decision making only, decision making level only, but this is for a long term, we can say. Long term, what happens is that we need to maintain a better relationship. Just you might be learning about relationship marketing and all. Better relationship with various supply chain members. How we can do that? You should have a good relationship with the suppliers, with the wholesalers, with the retailers, and each and every member in the supply chain process. Then developing and refining the firm's capabilities and market opportunities, conducting a SWOT analysis over here. SWOT analysis means strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats, and finding out which are the opportunities where they can invest. Customer responsiveness to improve the service, because without the customers, none of the business will be successfully carried forward. So it is very much important to see that the company is equally responding to the customers' requirements. So strategic planning are an extension of decision making, but for a longer term. So these are the different aspects over here. Different important here you can see logistic information functionality, transaction activities. Transaction system means day-to-day operations, day-to-day routine activities where the information or data is collected. Management control, decision analysis, and strategic planning. Now, yes, now moving to the next topic, IT infrastructure, which are commonly used in logistics and supply chain management. Some of the names might be familiar to you all. Some of the terms might be new. First one is RFID. RFID means radio frequency identification. It is a method of storing data using radio wave. All of you might have seen a radio, how a radio is functioning. It is functioning with the help of waves, radio waves. So here also it is based radio waves or radio frequency. Radio frequency identification is done using radio frequencies to transmit data between a portable device and a managing computer. Portable means which can be moved. So two parts are there. One is an antenna and the other one is an IC. IC means IC chip, which is used for storing the data and processing the information. Antenna is used for receiving and giving the information. So this is very commonly used in supply chain management to improve the tracking and management of the inventory. And it is also used in many of the companies, very easily usable. Different types are there. You have to remember the full form of RFID over here. Radio frequency identification. Active RFID is there, passive is there, and battery assisted is also there. So there will be an RFID reader, and the inventory will be easily monitored with the help of this RFID reader or RFID tags. So radio frequency identification is method of storing data using and retrieving it also using radio waves. Then there is electronic data interchange, EDI. This is the fastest, easiest, and most convenient, most productive way of transferring the data, like productive way of conducting the business with the transportation, warehousing, and logistics industry. It is the exchange of information within or outside the organization or anywhere using electronic means. Like simplest one I will tell you is sending an email. It can be done within the organization or outside the organization, but it will function only with the help of electronic media. There will be a standard format. It is easy to transfer information from one computer to another computer, helps in saving time. Even any kind of important documents can be easily sent using electronic data interchange, and no manual processing is required at all for this data transfer. Here you can see the benefits of EDI. Helps to reduce the cost, especially reducing the huge volume of paper, large volume of paper which are being used, which are manually used. It can also reduce the cost associated with administrative and personal staff, and staff can be given other value added functions. And speed, large volume of data can be transmitted very easily, communicated very easily, and this is giving faster response also from the customer side. It also helps to eliminate error which may occur when the people are handling it, and also helps to lead to better logistics management and increased productivity. So EDI is the most commonly used method for data transfer. Then there is satellite communication. Satellite communication is also an IT infrastructure which is providing a fast and high volume method for information movement. You might have seen this is the satellite channel, like our how the channels and all are working. This is used for providing, and this provides up-to-date information regarding again location, delivery, and even the data will be very much accurate. Thing is, it all may become costly to set up. Then GPS, commonly used system. GPS is commonly found in vehicles also. Global positioning system, you have to remember the full form. It is a satellite navigation system that helps in identification of a location of an instrument or an object, where it is located now. Very easy to track the movement of a particular consignment. So tracking the actual location of a consignment is very helpful to the firm because they can easily predict the time required for the consignment to reach the customer's location. We use it like the maps and all which are used in our vehicles and all are also similar, working similar only. So GPS system is very efficiently and effectively used nowadays to predict the location. It is easy to track the consignment, where it has reached, and tentatively by when it will be reaching the customer's location or destination. Barcoding. Barcoding is again another method of storing data. If you look at the textbooks and all which you are having, or even the notebooks and all, if you are having anything with you now, you can say that barcodes will be there in almost all the products. You can see this. So this is one common form of automatic identification using a barcode scanner. Okay, barcodes are used for identifications, very common in supermarkets, warehouses and all. It is used for identification, handling, retrieval and storage of goods. There will be individual barcodes for different products, and sometimes एक साथ unitized packages के लिए वो उसके लिए भी अलग से रहते हैं. And it can be easily read by a barcode scanner which is attached to an online computer system. So this is a barcode system is also, you might this is the barcode system. Okay, the picture is not so much visible, but you might have seen how a barcoding scanner is working. This is very easy to store the data, and it helps to improve the inventory. Nothing is to be done. Barcode is assigned to a particular inventory item, and it facilitates in locating a particular item in the warehouse as well. So even it will help in tracking the location of the consignment. Then there is ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. This is just like what we learned in MRP, MRP2, DRP2 and all. Using IT, it's a business process management software, and it is integrating and automating many of the business activities and most of the back office functions as well. Most of the softwares which we are using, that is all coming under this ERP. Here also technology is used, IT is used, and it will help in various activities combined together. Different modules will be there for different activities. Data should be inputted into this, and accordingly, it is very easy to store the data, like product planning, product development, and also not only store the data, also to retrieve the data. That is also very important. Getting the reports is also equally important. So product planning, product development, manufacturing, logistics, distribution, any kind of activity can be mentioned in an ERP system, can be entered into an ERP system. And this is very beneficial because ERP is a cross-functional activity, since it is integrating various functions. If HR person wants some data of sales, it is easy for them to retrieve the data. If they financial department, if finance department wants any data from HR, it is easy for them to retrieve it. So it is a cross-functional activity, or it integrates all the function activities in one system. So it is helpful to eliminate repetitive processes. That is one main important benefit we can say. नहीं तो क्या होता है कि HR people are doing the same entry will be done by finance people also with respect to salary, for example, and sales people are giving their targets. So ERP system eliminates this kind of unwanted or repeated information, and this makes the companies to easier for them to bring all the activities together in an efficient manner. Then reduction in lead time. With the help of proper coordination with all the departments, we can reduce the delay in delivering the product. Any kind of delay can be reduced. Then it also has an integrated information system. Instead of having data distributed throughout, we can say that all information we can find in a single location. And data is continuously updated, it is consistent and easily accessible, easily retrievable for any purpose. So these are the different types of, we can say, different IT infrastructure which are commonly used in supply chain management and logistics. See it once again, RFID. Please remember the full form: radio frequency identification, electronic data interchange, EDI, electronic data interchange. Questions can come for the full form and all. Then satellite communication, GPS means global positioning system, barcoding, ERP, enterprise resource planning. So this is the first chapter over here in the fourth module. Okay, you please go through these objective questions as well. We'll see once again from the beginning what has been covered. What is IT? What is the role of IT? We have seen yesterday. Then objectives of IT. Then role of IT over here. Then after that, logistical information system, how it is helpful. Though logistical information system is part of the company's total information system, this one is focusing mainly on the logistical decision-making process. So it is a system of records which will contain information with respect to all the different logistical activities. Okay. Then the characteristics and principles. Two different types, external and internal information system. This logistical information functionality. After that, IT infrastructure, information technology infrastructure. So always remember, logistic information is a part of the entire information system in the company. But a major chunk of the activities are happening in the logistical infrastructure, because it is dealing with what all activities, it is dealing with all those activities from the point of origin to the point of consumption. What all our activities are happening, all these needs to be properly recorded, properly maintained, and it should also be easily accessible and retrievable whenever required. Because whatever data, because if data is not stored properly, whatever data is available, it should be stored properly with the use of IT. Otherwise, this will create lots of coordination problems, lot of miscommunications and confusions in the organization. Just take an example of inventory management. Inventory management, if the data is not recorded properly, what will happen? For example, this company is getting an order of 1,000 units of something, okay, and it has not been recorded anywhere. Okay, so, and it has not been recorded anywhere, and the company is now going to send the consignment of 1,000 units to the customer. Okay, now the question will come, from where this order has come, who had given us this order, when, what time, what day this order has come, what was the order about. So only if the data is recorded properly, we can easily coordinate each and every activity. Sometimes ऐसे भी हो सकता है कि this order was taken over by one employee, okay, and that employee did not record it anywhere. Just take an example, the employee did not record it anywhere, and this same order has been taken over by another employee, and that employee has recorded it. Now what will happen? There is duplication of data. Two orders are going to the same customer. So such kind of unwanted human error or human mistakes, then, or a repetition of work and all can be eliminated with the help of information technology, with the help of IT infrastructure if properly used. So for this, we need to see that the data which is being stored is not a small quantity, because the functions involved in logistics, the dealings involved in logistics is not so easy. The data will be bulk, so we need adequate infrastructure for storing the data. Sales people will be bringing magnanimous amount of data. Same way, finance people will be having their own enormous amount of data. HR people will be having all the data with respect to their employees working over there. So the data is not is it's a long ending, sorry, no, it's a non-ending list, which will be compiling so many elements in that. So each of these data should be recorded and updated as well. It is not only recording, it is not only like for 1 month every activity is done, next month nothing is being updated. It should not be like that also. Data entry should be proper, it should be up to date, and outdated data and all can be, if possible, if can be, which is not at all required now, can be eliminated as well. Another important thing which is to be remembered here is that accessibility of data is not only about storing the data, it is also about getting the data back or retrieving the data back whenever required. We have seen that in ERP system is one very important easy system. ERP system, for example, we can tell the college software, maybe good functioning software in any institution, not only in the college, in any institution, a good functioning, highly sophisticated, well functioning software can be an example of a ERP. ERP means enterprise resource planning, which will provide us the data with respect to each and every activity which is happening in an organization. It is integrating all the departments together so that the coordination and the communication is quite easier here. Okay.